Well, hello everybody. This is Scott Roberts with Explore Scientific, and you are on the Explore Alliance Live program with the OpenGOTO Community. And with us is a very retro Jerry Hubble. And in Living Technicolor is Tyler Bowman, who's our new customer service representative and tech support person. So yeah, and we were totally freaking out that we couldn't make all the video stuff work. I just could not figure it out. And of course, as always, as any IT professional will tell you, the way to fix anything is just reboot. So that's what I did. It was earlier today, I did have to do an update of one of the programs, and every other time I do that, I don't have to reboot the computer, but obviously this time I did need to. So, but we got a good show for you today. We are really glad you guys hung in there with us. So thank you very much. And who do we got with us? We've got, it was weird too, because, I could still chat with everybody, but I couldn't get video to work. So we got Dusty Haskins with us, David Ing, Dave Connolly, Mike Wiesner, not lurking so much, but actually typing in stuff. So thank you, Mike. Jennifer Shelley, Dave Connolly, Richard Grace, the Astro Beard, Tim Myers, Chuck Staw, Jeff Wise, we already mentioned. Mike Lemus is with us. Mr. Thump 30, Robert Trepaccioni, and Ken In. So there we are. And Chuck Lewis, he says much better. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. We had actually not a bad weekend here in Arkansas, and got to see some beautiful views of Jupiter and Saturn and Mars. Mars is just getting really intensely
bigger,
and so it's a lot of fun looking at the planets. People are still watching Comet Neowise right now. And we're getting ready for our next star party, which is going to happen tomorrow night, starting at 7:30 Pacific time. That's 10:30 Eastern time, and 9:30 here Central. So got a lot of people, more people than we had for our first show coming on board. And so we'll see how we can get through it all and see how many people we can actually get on one of these virtual star parties. David Levy will be joining us, and Ansel Puri will be giving also a special presentation. So,
oh, nice.
Yep. But the guys who got M13 data is going to show it, including Richard Grace. He did tell me he went ahead and got his M13 data anyways.
Oh, good.
We'll let him show his M13 data, and he's going to join in with the imaging as well. So. And so,
cool.
Whoever wants to image will just raise their hand, and because we're going after M27, fascinating object, and so there we are. Now, so we'll switch to you, Tyler. Tyler is tell us a little bit about yourself, Tyler.
Well, as everybody knows, Explore Scientific is based in Springdale, Arkansas. I've been born and raised here for 34 years.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah. Great.
I've always had an interest in the stars. I've always wanted the telescope, but just never had the funds to do it. But now later in years, I'm able to afford such things.
Yeah.
And now I actually work for a company that brings me a lot of joy and help other people pursue hobbies that they may not have been able to pursue before, but now they can.
Yeah. Plus, you got a lot of toys here to play with, so I'll make sure.
I haven't got to play with them yet, but yes.
Yeah, that's a big advantage.
Playing with all of them.
Big advantage.
So yeah. Well, that's great. So yeah, if you guys want, and Tyler, you are also an astrophotographer, is that right?
Yes, sir. I've been astrophotographing for, we'll say 2 years.
2 years, okay. Excellent. Yeah. And what's your favorite things to photograph?
M42. I love Orion's Nebula.
Oh, okay.
I know that one constantly gets abused, but there's so much detail in it.
Oh yeah.
It's
a
you can never
nursery
have
of
enough of it.
newborn stars. You could study it for a
Mhm.
lifetime. So,
Correct.
awesome. Awesome. Great. Well, Wade Prunty says, go Tigers, man. So wherever the Tigers are, Wade, I don't know. So anyhow, well, Jerry, let's jump to you. We wanted to talk about some of the new feature requests that we're seeing on the OpenGOTO community.
Right. So let me, I'm gonna, whoops, I always do that.
Wow.
I
What
have
does
to
it feel
share
like?
my
You look like
screen.
you're back in the early or the late 60s.
This is Apollo time.
It
This
is.
is Apollo.
Yeah.
This is
All
50
you and
some
all
years
your buddies
ago.
back there.
Yep. Exactly.
Right.
We're all busy at work trying to fix these computer systems.
Yeah, Jerry
All these
finally figured out how to
PMC-8s.
go back into time and actually take all the technology of today back
These are
with
the
him.
guys that invented this technology that we're using in the PMC-8. So I thought they would like to help us, help our customers. So
Actually, you're probably right. That's right. Jerry the time traveler.
hmm
Yep. All right. So you're going to share your screen here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Got it up there. You see
Wow,
the
this is in color. Okay.
this is in color. Yep. I probably could figure out how to change my screen to black and white, but I don't have to mess with it.
Absolutely.
That'd be really useful.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a couple that came up recently. Actually, one that just came today, early in the morning, talking about the on the Explore Stars application, we have the virtual joystick that's on the left side of the screen that takes up a big portion of the left side of the screen. Let me I may have a picture of that I can show you, actually. And I got a ton of stuff here.
You got a ton of stuff, Jerry.
Ton of stuff. I'm going to show you some of my secrets here as I scroll through here.
Should we hide our eyes or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I know I've got an Explore Stars screenshot here somewhere. Trying to find it. Oh, there's something close to it.
This part of the show is fascinating, Tyler.
Yeah, this
is our favorite part.
Get to explore the hard drive of Jerry Hubble.
Yeah. Right. Let me. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna bring up.
Eduardo Simone says figures back on. As I'm heading to work. I'll listen on the Bluetooth.
I'm gonna actually go to the Windows store and.
Oh wow.
Show people where to get it. If I can figure this Windows apps. All right. Where's the stinking search tool at?
I don't know.
Yeah, Dusty Haskins
actually
had to
what I
help
see
me.
on the screen right now from you is like my panic attack a few minutes ago.
Oh yeah. All right, so I'm going to type in Explore Stars. Oh, there it is.
Surprise says, try and count the windows he has open.
Yeah, that's going to be the.
It'll just be a guess, Yeah.
That'll be the question of the day to win a prize.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is what it looks like.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
And so this big section on the left-hand side is a virtual joystick. That's what that little red circle with the 0 in the middle of it. That's a virtual joystick where you drag your finger across that to move the mount.
Yeah.
And the suggestion is, that's kind of hard when you're trying to look through the eyepiece and touch it and get it into the center, and then you move it without taking your eye off the eyepiece. Basically, that's the suggestion: is how can we improve this to do that? And he's got a couple of good suggestions, and it's what's his name? It's JJ. He's from Navarra, Spain. That's his name right there.
Okay.
What he talks about is actually being able to put your finger anywhere on that area, and that would be the center. That would be the reference point that you move from. So instead of having to point it to get into the center of the screen or the center of this box, you would basically put your finger anywhere, and then you could start sliding it up, down, left, right to move the mount.
Okay.
And then wherever you
Well, I'm not quite following, Jerry. So what you would, let me see if I got this right.
Mhm.
Let's say that the galaxy or whatever that you're after is in the upper left-hand corner. Is he saying that I would touch that upper left-hand corner and that would become the new center?
No, anywhere you would touch would become the new center as a reference point. So when you move on, when you slide your finger across in any direction from that new center,
Okay.
it would move in that direction.
Makes sense.
So let's say you just have your thumb. Let's say you're grasping it with your thumb
Okay.
on the side, and you put your thumb on the tablet. That's the new center, and then you can drag your thumb up and down, left and right,
Oh, I
maybe
see. And that's the new.
from there, and that would move
But
it.
what if
And
you
then when
just
you
touched
lift,
it or you double tapped it and then that centered that whatever was there into the middle? I guess that'd just be another step, wouldn't it?
yeah, it would be. So if you just touch it and that's a new center, and then you move it, that's the interface that you'd like to see where.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you lift your finger off, it stops. So as long as you're touching it, it moves, and then you release your finger and it stops.
Wherever.
So at that point, and then you touch it again, that's the new center.
That'd be
So
good.
basically, you can just keep your eye on the eyepiece and touch it anywhere, and then move it.
So,
Yeah.
so would it become
As a relative
a
motion.
mode that you would go into, or would that just be the way it works all the time?
That would be the default operation, I would think.
Uh,
Now, the problem is this is an object, a software object that Dan uses and we use on the. I don't know if it's the same object. It probably might be the same software module that we use in the iOS and in the Android app and in Windows, where it's canned. The operation is this is the way it's defined, or it could have some other parameters that would allow you to do this relative motion type of adjustment as a joystick. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to talk to Dan about that, and the alternative is to create our own joystick module,
mm-hmm.
which would be quite a bit more work than trying to use a pre-built.
Right. Well, if we
There
already
may be
have
other
something,
joystick.
we should make that
Right.
more functional, I guess.
Right. There may be other joystick software modules that we can use that have that functionality also. We'll just have to look for it. But that's really a good
idea.
suggestion.
Mike Wiesner's
It makes-
comment is the Scope Boss iOS app for AutoStar 2 telescopes has a mode that uses the iPhone accelerometers to do tilt slewing. No need to look at the screen or touch it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we could do that too, but that's not quite as much control though, because I can imagine you're sitting there, especially if it's cold outside, and you might be shivering a little bit, and you're sitting there looking through the eyepiece, and you're holding your
and you're
you're holding
shaking.
your phone, and you're shaking a little bit, or but that's also an excellent way of doing it for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then Tim Meyer says, I don't use Explore Stars, but that sounds very intuitive and easy to operate.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
forget you guys can see all these comments on the screen now. So I guess I don't have to read them, but it is kind of fun to read them anyways. And if you're just listening, like you're driving your car on Bluetooth or something, it could be kind of like a podcast, if I'm speaking everything.
Right. So that's a nice that's one of the nice suggestions we just got today from
excellent
JJ.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. A tour guy.
It's 2J. It's probably JJ.
JJ, a tour guy Abad.
Excellent.
He's got a Comet Hunter.
Yeah.
Everybody with those comments.
he can sell it for twice what he bought it for
Yeah.
at this
In
point.
Or hang
Spain,
on to it.
especially over in
People are
Europe.
going crazy right now for the Comet Hunter.
I want one too.
Yeah, I should discontinue more products. Everything's
Yeah.
discontinued.
Yeah, let's not make them anymore, and then we'll sell
And then
them
there's
like
like a panic
hotcakes,
buy-in, right? So
right? Well, all you have to do
crazy.
is just
That always
announce
happens.
it.
I've been in this business for a long time, and every time you see that a product's getting to its end of life, you go, okay, put it to its end of life. Then everybody wants one. Everyone tells you just how badly they want it.
Mhm.
So, perhaps we
Right.
would have to bring it back at some point. That always happens too. I think Coca-Cola did something like that. You remember
Yeah,
remember
right.
New Coke, and then
Coke, right.
and it tasted horrible, and then everybody wanted old Coke. So
We'll have the 152 Classic, which is with the FCD1 glass.
yeah.
Uh,
So what other new features are being requested right now?
oh, I guess I shouldn't have stopped. Let
Yeah,
me see.
God.
Let me go back and see
Yeah,
before I
maybe
share
back in
again.
the 60s you could have just done one feature, but not here in the 2000s.
Yeah, right. That's right. All right, let me share again.
You realize we're already 20% through this whole century, right?
That's right. I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Crazy.
That's just crazy. It is crazy. It's just time goes too fast.
Yeah.
All right. So, oh,
Dusty says that's when you bring out an anniversary edition and sell it for twice as much. Dusty, you are my new vice president of marketing.
So one of the other suggestions that maybe we talked about this, Wolfgang
Okay.
suggested back about a week ago, maybe,
Okay.
was to include a drift alignment method in Explore Stars, which would be kind of cool.
And how would that work?
I'm not sure. I'd have to think about how we would do that. The issue is that you have to have a picture of the sky, or you take the inputs from the drift. So what you would do is you'd go to a star,
Okay.
and then you would center it in your eyepiece. It'd be good to have a crosshair eyepiece, and then you would sit and put it in manual mode and hit record. Okay. And then you would hit the buttons to basically guide on the star like you would when you were taking a picture. Okay. So it would record as you push the north, south, east, west buttons, whichever way it's drifting north. If it's drifting north, then you would hit the north button and do that for like 5 minutes maybe. Okay. You would it would record your button pushes.
Mm-hmm.
And from that information, it would calculate. It could calculate what your drift rate is, and it knows your location where the star's at. And then from that information, it could actually model the offset in altitude and azimuth, and then that's the first part of it where you do the measurement.
Mm-hmm.
And you record the data. And does it say, okay, now I know how much you're drifting. Now what I need to do now is tell you where to point it at and center the star. So then it would say, okay, with the star you've got centered, I'm going to hit a button to say, okay, go off the star, whatever amount it takes to.
From the star is a South Korean television.
My phone picked up my talk. So it would move the scope off the star a certain amount based on how much it was drifting, and then it would tell you to adjust the altitude and the azimuth to bring the star back in the center.
Okay.
And then you would be aligned. I would think that would kind of be what it would be like.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically manual guide on the star so it can record data, and then when you say, okay, tell me how to adjust, you hit a button and it goes off the star, and then you center it up with altitude and azimuth, and then you're done. That's kind of a fast way of doing it.
I see.
I'd have to think about the math and all that's involved with that, but that'd be kind of cool.
Right?
That'd be an alternate. That'd be a physical alignment instead of going to the star and hitting a button, 2 or 3 stars and hitting a button, and then it would calculate a mount model. This would be actually doing the same thing, except you would be telling you where to position the star. The other way is to actually do the 3-star alignment, record it, and then tell it to go to a 4th star or one of the other stars, and then you would adjust it in altitude and azimuth that way too. You could use the mount model to tell you how far off it is in azimuth and altitude also. So there's ways to do it.
Excellent.
There's ways to do it. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. All right. And so
I think that
kind of wraps
those
that
are
one
the
up. We have
Yep.
you showed me today. I'd like for you to, if you can find this again, I'd like for you to show the Soul Nebula shot done with this guy set up on an iEXOS 100. That was on
Yep, that one
CloudyNights.
right there. I've got it up right now.
Yep.
Does he
Okay.
does he say what he shot it with,
Yes.
like camera wise?
Oh, I think so. I think we can find it. So do you see that, Scott?
Yeah, it's
It's not being
beautiful.
broadcast.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
sharing.
see it on. I don't see my YouTube. I see my big face on YouTube.
Yeah.
It looks like
Right.
a Hubble palette, so it could be a monochrome.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the Soul Nebula. That's IC. What was the IC number?
I think I see 3848 or 4845. I know it's an IC.
Mm-hmm.
1848.
1848. Okay, cool. This is very nice. I'm gonna pixel peep a little bit here. I'm gonna zoom up on it.
Let's see.
So this is with a
Yeah, he
102.
said, I actually have it up right now. He said the weather had been decent here during the last 2 nights, and I finally clocked in about 4 hours of imaging. Chosen target was the Soul Nebula with HA, S2, and O3 narrowband filters.
There's this rig. Do you see what he's got on
high up
there?
in the sky. The skies up north aren't very dark, so I was pretty much only able to clock in a good 2 hours of proper darkness. After a few tweaks to the balance and optimizing my guide scope position, I was able to get a tad bit better guiding results. The mount performed well under the load of 5 kilograms of equipment plus cabling, although it's very sensitive to anti-vibration, but it's hardly an issue unless you're stomping your feet next to it. I was getting around 0.8 to 1.3 RMS accuracy in PhD2 and had no real issues. Long guide exposures of 3 to 3.5 seconds seemed to be ideal, and when a good guide star was selected, it was a pretty smooth ride. I took 180-second exposures and only got a few ruined by passing clouds and had to abandon about 10 because of bad focus. So I had roughly 3.5 hours of usable material. I got around to processing it all today, and for that limited amount of material, I have to say, I was really pleased.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, you got the 3 beer can,
It's hilarious.
counterweight system.
Right.
Maybe we should get him some counterweights.
Yeah.
So the
Do what you
mount's
gotta do.
definitely a keeper. I have to come up with a better extra counterweight than 3 beer cans, though, before I get out in the field. A lot of guys would have those beer cans empty before they got out in the field. So
I've got another hack that he put on here. I got another to show you. All right.
All
Let me
right.
show you this. This is what he did. He didn't buy an azimuth adjuster from us. He made his own.
Oh, there you go.
Pretty handy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Right.
I don't. Mm-hmm. So you can see it down here.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So he made his own.
So is this guy in the United States, or where is he?
I'm not sure.
Sure, we'll have to reach out to him. Anyways, that's quite a setup. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of gear on that little mount.
That is. That's quite heavy. That looks like a ZWO camera,
Yeah.
It is.
163 or the
It could be the 1600.
1600. Yeah,
Guider.
it's got.
Mhm.
I'm curious about the corners of the image
Oh, let's go back and look at it. Let me see.
because I don't see a field flattener.
You zoom up really good, and then I'll bring it over to the corner. They look
Yeah,
pretty
Yeah,
round.
they look pretty good.
It just looks a little bit soft overall.
Yeah, they're a little soft, like
Maybe that's seeing or something. I don't know.
could be. There's a slight elongation down here, I think.
That's a flying saucer.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy.
So yeah, it's very good, excellent. I mean, what do you expect for a $350, $400 mount?
But it's just 4 hours of data too.
You know, you
A
have
lot
to.
less than that for only $300 or
You know, you have to
$400.
spend most
What
of
am
your
I
money.
doing selling mounts for that price? Am I crazy or what?
You're crazy. That's right. The conventional wisdom is to buy the most expensive mount you think you can afford, and then spend 20% of the rest of your budget on the rest of your stuff. That's the conventional
It
wisdom.
works okay if you got $10,000 or $15,000 to spend.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Buy a mount that's going to last you the rest of your life, and not go into anything, not buy anything else.
Right.
Never buy anything else.
Including food for the family.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
Needed
That's,
repairs for your car, new roof for your house.
Yeah.
For
Not
And
essential.
if you can't afford it right now, just wait a couple years and save up. Don't bother doing any
Nothing
astrophotography
else.
while in the meantime. That's
You
right.
get that vacation. Yeah.
That's kind of what you hear out there. That's what people say to do. It's kind of a
No, you can
shame.
do it with this. You can do a lot with this, anyways.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
You can get started with this.
That's
With
right.
what you
Yeah.
have.
Why
With
waste the
what you
time?
have.
Right. That's right. Yeah, and you can
You
do
know,
so
you
much with a great camera. The cameras are
got a
so sensitive
DSLR, and you got
yeah.
You got a tablet, or soon a phone and a DSLR. You can just buy them out and go at it.
Mhm.
Excellent. Well,
So let's see what else. Let me stop this for a minute.
what else you got to show and tell?
I don't think. Let me think about it. Let me get off of here for a minute. Maybe we can. You want to give out a prize?
Yeah, let's let Tyler come up with a question.
Okay, good.
Ah! you
Yeah, I'm
said we
always
were going to
having
put
to
you on
do
the
that.
spot. See, I was going to have you guys try to stump Tyler, but it's going to be hard to stump him. All right. But him coming up with a
I don't
question.
think so. I don't think so.
So what's a good question?
Bad thing is I don't want to make it too easy and I don't want to make it too hard. But dang it. But Jerry asked the one the other day about the apparent field of view, so I can't ask that one. Oh man.
I could.
Give me a second. I'm thinking of something.
I can calculate rule of thumb, practical, theoretical maximum magnification.
Okay. How do you calculate theoretical and maximum magnification?
Okay. There's a few right answers. Whoever gets one of the first right answers will win. What are they going to win, Jerry?
Maybe we should give out. We gave out a planisphere and a flashlight yesterday or the last week, right? So.
And we gave an eyepiece.
We gave an eyepiece. Let's
Mhm.
see. What else do we have? Is there anything new in our catalog? What do we have for them, Tyler?
Yeah, what's behind door number 3?
What's the?
It depends on what
see.
Scott will let me give away.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is my first day, so I don't know
You-
what
Whatever
you can
you're
ask-
willing
do's
to,
and
you can
yeah,
ask
don'ts
let's
are.
just take
forgiveness.
your paycheck, whatever that is.
I have no
That's right.
paycheck right now.
Oh, that's true. Let's see.
Do we have any other gadgets? How about something from our apparel shop? Is there-
Tim Meyer says, I watched a video Scott did on this a long time ago. I wonder where my notes are.
Why not
Okay, so here we go. First answer was you divide and double things. That's not quite right. I mean, yeah. Mike Wiesner, twice the aperture in millimeters.
It's not, I won't have enough books around that wall.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of distance.
Is that right? That is right. That's right. That is a correct answer. Okay. And so if you got, let's say it's a